Ever been to a great party and somehow you found yourself in the kitchen having an amazing conversation? Happens to me all the time. What if we could capture those moments or have more of them? So I called a couple of my friends to help me cook up some conversations in the kitchen. Welcome to Kitchen Talk. Hey guys, thanks for joining me on Kitchen Talk again this week. So, James Brown wrote this song. Said, it's a man's world.
Good God.
It's a man's world. But it wouldn't be nothing without a woman or a girl. So, this is what I want to talk about this week. Gender roles.
Okay.
So, what is my role as a woman and what is your role as a man?
Barefoot and pregnant. Man, that kid in the court.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
I'm saying, man.
Really?
I agree.
I'm just
To a certain degree.
Yeah. All right.
Wait.
I agree to a certain degree.
You joking though, right?
Yeah, man.
Okay, go ahead.
Don't take me serious. I don't even know the alphabet.
I think
That's a joke.
Just like your first comment, it's a man's world. I think we all are men, so we are mankind. So that's how I see it.
Okay.
And from that definition, we are all mankind. We should all think of how do we define ourselves. In essence, do we let men define us or do we define ourselves? So I think the roles that we play are defined by the roles that I say I play.
Okay.
So if you want to be barefoot and pregnant, that's on you because you saying that's the role I want to take. So if you want to work in the kitchen, because we're husband and wife and the kitchen's your place and outside's my place like the old days,
right?
And I pick up the trash.
I can wash the cars and all that type of stuff.
Now those roles kind of
inside,
changed.
Daddy was outside.
Now it's kind of changed.
However, the children did both.
Yeah.
Because
no matter if it's boy or girl.
It might have just been one time, but I did cut grass.
So you consider that cutting grass? You just did it one time, and that.
Well, maybe twice. But I had to do stuff outside.
Okay.
So if we define it by what my mom and dad did,
right,
with the man outside, the woman inside, but the children did both.
Right.
We did inside and we did outside. So how would it have been defined for me as a child? Which one would I have seen? The one I liked the most?
No, it's the one that your parents defined you to do. Your mama told you
both
to go.
Both of them.
Then that's what you would have had to do. And I think that's how we should start looking at gender roles. Is as far as this is what I say that I'm willing to do, and this is what you're saying you're willing to do. For example, now more women are not at home anymore. They're making the dollars where they can go out, and the men are staying home.
Okay.
So now those roles are kind of changed, but I'm still comfortable with me being home taking care of the kids, knowing that you're making X dollars to bring home for us. So again, it's up to the man or the woman to define themselves and not letting the world define what is the role that you should play.
JC, you look like you like.
Nah, I'm just saying, because I know me.
We take it to the country.
Because I was raised a bit different.
Okay.
My grandmother, housewife. My grandfather, he went out and he worked. And at the end of the week, he brought home the check or whatever he had, and he just gave it to her, and she went and did whatever she needed to do with it. And whatever was left, I don't know if she gave it back to him or not, but I guess I'm just one of those type of guys that I feel like I need to provide. I'm not saying that you stay home. Listen, if you want to go out and you want to work every day, that's fine. We can handle it. We can do this thing together. But I'm not gonna say, oh, you gonna stay home. You gonna have these babies and my food better be cooked when I get. Nah, that's not gonna happen, man. But
I think that's why a lot of people see it that way still, which is kind of, to me, odd and hard, especially in the day and age that we're in, where the roles have changed. Now you can't get that same 6-figure, 8-figure, 9-figure job salary anymore. It's really your wife who might get that before you
do. Yeah.
And if she does, will you be comfortable with it? Knowing that, okay, I'm going to stay home and take care of the house and make sure everything is right. Now, it doesn't mean that I could decide to stay home, and I could also decide to go and do the job that I want to do. But there's going to be a shift. The question is, are you ready for that shift? And I don't think most men are. You see, you're already shaking your head.
I can't stay home. I can't do it. I just
unless your wife be the provider.
No, I can't. It's not in me. I don't think it's really coded in any man's DNA to stay home and let his woman go out or his wife go out and work.
Really?
Listen. I do. I'm gonna be completely honest. I have a problem. God. I remember when I was in school and I worked at Target out in Bradfordville, and every day it was this chick that had a dude dropping her off at work in her car, and he was going back to do whatever, play PlayStation with the boys or whatever. And we asked her, like, yo, man, what your dude do? Oh, well, nothing really. He just, he trying to find himself. All right. So while my boy gonna sit over here and mac her and take his girl out,
Once again,
yeah,
no point, but
you see, but I can't do it. I've always had a job from the time I've been able to start working. I've always had a job.
But see, I don't think that's the conversation is not whether you have a job or not. The conversation is whether or not you will accept the role that society has placed on you. And I think that's where we're going with it.
But how are we defining even the gender roles anymore? Are they still, the 1920s, 1950s, the woman stay at home, take care of the children, and the husband go out, work, and provide? But it's different now.
Yes, very much.
Because in some households, you need two incomes.
Right.
So, and I guess what I'm saying is,
some households you need one. And if she's that one,
are
you willing to accept
no. But even if we just look at needing the two.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So both of us are going out and both of us are working.
Right.
So when we come home, who is taking care of the house? Do we both still have to take care of the house?
And I think that, again, based on the definition that we have, and that's where the couple would sit down and communicate on, hey, these are my roles. If it's my role to wash the dishes, hey, I don't mind. Actually, I like washing the dishes. So I would take the role of washing the dishes. Whereas she might say, you know what? I like throwing out the trash. It's the first thing I was going out because I'm going shopping. I just take out the bag and I'm good. So I think it's really how we define it and not let society define all roles for us. So I think that's why it's changing a little bit. But I think that people, like my good friend over here, still want to use what society has said, this is what you must do. You must clean the house. You must go get the meat.
Right.
You must, wash the babies. You must watch the TV show.
Watch football.
Right.
So let's move even beyond that. So let's move into women in leadership and those roles.
Okay.
Because there are still a lot of people that feel like a woman should not have authority over a man. We see it every day. No matter how intelligent she is, no matter how educated she is, there are still some people who feel like that is not a woman's role.
You know what? I don't even think it's a man's role. I think it still comes down to communication and connecting with people. I do think there's a time where I may take the lead, and I'm okay with you taking the lead because it's your turn to take the lead. It's like a saying that my father used to tell me, somebody got to drive the car. Now, I might be the driver today, but tomorrow you're going to drive. And I was very fortunate to experience that where my dad would drive and my mom would drive. And he's okay and comfortable to sit in the passenger seat.
But you have people that are not.
I still agree. I still see that. We still seeing that
today. So
today.
there's no assignment to leadership as far as gender roles.
My personal opinion is no. Now, JT,
no. Y'all not gonna do that to me. I have no problem with that. me,
Right.
I just do not want to feel like I'm less of a man. You get what I'm saying?
So would you feel less of a man with a female boss?
Oh, nah, I ain't got a problem with that.
Just in your house.
Because she is the boss.
See,
But you know, again, that's why, that's what we. That's why.
Don't you think that spill over a little bit?
No, that's why we have the issue because of what you just said. Somebody want to be the boss. Why somebody got to be the boss? Somebody could lead. I'll tell my wife when I get married. I'll tell my wife, hey, you know what? You're taking care of the vacation this year. I want you to spearhead and lead that. And she'll tell me, hey, France, I need you to spearhead and lead that all of our cars are properly working or whatever it is. Or you know what? Today, you're going to spearhead and lead dinner. Because this is some great macaroni and cheese and say that. But you know what? Tomorrow, you may ask me to spearhead and lead it. And I should be able to get in the place and do it.
But who takes the leadership to delegate?
You saying so the man has to take
I'm
it?
asking. Who takes the leadership to delegate?
The man is the head.
Somebody got to have a plan and say, this is what we're doing, or this is what you need to do. Or,
so I still do think that.
I mean, I understand you saying shared.
Right.
I understand that.
Right.
But even in shared, it still starts with one.
So, okay, so do you believe that still the man should run the house, period? And then his significant other or his wife should follow suit. Do you still believe in that?
Why you had that?
All right.
Okay, so I will say that I am just a tad bit old fashioned.
Okay.
I am.
Okay.
So
but see, here's what I
believe
share.
I would like turn over the reins, but not in the form of you my master and I'm the slave and I do what you
But you kind of bossy though. Oh my bad, I'm sorry. You have leadership skills. You got leadership skills.
Can you get this right?
I'm just saying. You know,
I do have leadership skills.
Bossy.
I think at some point what we have to do is accept what we accept. If I'm country and this is how I feel, then you know what? I accept it. And if I'm super modern and this is how I feel and this is how I'm gonna run my house, I'm accepting because I'm defining it. And I shouldn't feel bad that, you know what? I'm running this house and you are assisting me. Or vice versa. You're running this house and I'm assisting you. Because some men, to be honest with you, don't need to lead the house. You don't have the skill set. You don't have you don't have what it takes, which is what hurts a lot of. Maybe you should do some type of leadership, but you don't need to lead everything. So it puts us in a bad position.
So strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
so
I get that. So we define it for ourselves.
Yeah.
So is it a man's world?
And we have to love it. We have to love who we decide it to be, or we decide that we have defined it to be. I think it is a man's world.
You think?
It's a human.
That's how you do that.
Right.
Man's world.
We all humans, so it's our world. And how do we define it?
It's a man's world. All right, guys, hold on 1 second. Let me go check on something.
Awesome. So, JT,
What
if she making...
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Okay, so on Kitchen Talk, no judgment.
No judgment.
No judgment.
No judgment.
No judgment. So if I say that as a woman, I would like for it to be a man's world, and I would just like to turn everything over to men.
I would be okay with that.
You'd be okay with that?
I'll be okay with that.
But then if I said, as a woman, it might be a man's world, but I want to run it too.
I would not be shocked. You being you. That's just you being you. I'm just saying.
I think that's exactly what I was saying. You got to be yourself. You got to be true to who you are. But at the same time, you still have to have some flexibility because we share this environment. We share this
So
world.
would you call me wishy-washy?
No.
If I say, okay, if I were to say,
Bossy.
stop calling me bossy. I am. I always been that way all my life. Leadership. So if I were to say, in my home, in my marriage, if I were married, in my marriage, my husband is the head of the house.
Right.
But if I own a business, or if I'm running a business,
Right.
then I am in charge.
I agree.
So I can be both.
You can be.
Okay.
I think what happens is that we define it, or society defines it a certain way, like you said earlier. She can only do this, or a woman can't run the business, or can't hold these leadership skills. And I think you can. You know, it's how you define it, and it's what role that you take. But most times, most women shy away from it because they fall into the trap of, this is what society says I have to do and I have to be. If I'm not this at home.
We take a lot. We take a lot. I mean, just to get along sometimes.
And even with that as well, a lot of women don't want to sit there and have other people thinking, well, I got to this position by sleeping with this person and that person as well. So I'm like, man, I don't have a problem with you having your business and running your business and
but
everything.
I just can't run the house.
I did not say that. Once again, you throwing that out there. I did not.
You're calling me bossy, so
Well,
Because you
so
bossy.
If she running the kitchen, you fine.
Yeah, I don't mind that, especially if she can cook better than me.
Okay.
So, you know,
If she running the finances,
I'm fine.
okay.
You know.
Okay. If she running the
What we finna play? 'Cause I see where this is going.
at some point you're gonna say, no, she can't run that. If she running the bedroom, there it is. Well, again, how do we define our roles? And I think when we make the definition, when we define it, it works. And we can't allow society to define it for us, because when they do, we go by their rules, which is what's happening now. I could run the house, but when I come to the job where I'm supposed to be leading, well, they say I'm not supposed to do it.
Right.
But who's they?
the
Who is
people
that?
in charge, the powers that be.
But you are the power that be. You're in charge.
You really think so?
I think so. I think, and I'm not saying that it's easy, especially for women. I think it's harder to get past that stereotype, but I think it's possible. You know, Oprah Winfrey, your favorite person. I mean, she's able to run her household, and she's able to run her, industry.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think of some other examples of women who are able to get past that and be able to run their homes and still run their organizations and be the front runner.
So shared, I like the idea of shared leadership and in defining the gender roles. But how do we, I guess taking it to another level, how do we teach our children, how do we teach the next generation to define that for themselves?
JT, what you think? I know you was gonna say watch some cartoons.
No, you can't say watch cartoons because cartoons are completely different. What's going on? Man, wow. Sometimes I just feel like, all right, it's like barbershop talk. Sometimes when you in the barbershop, men are gonna say what men have to say, and you have some kids that come in with their fathers, and that is a place where they learn, and so you're gonna start teaching them certain things in the barbershop, and what they take from that, they can take out in the world.
They do take out.
They do take out in the world.
So would you say even the beauty shop for the ladies?
Exactly. And I know y'all talk about us in the beauty shop too, so yeah, y'all do.
Right,
so
right.
yeah, his dad ain't nothing, his dad ain't this, his dad ain't that. So you just make sure y'all spreading positive words in the beauty shop about us.
In the barbershop.
We do.
No, y'all don't.
Yes, we
I
do.
think it goes beyond
Amen.
words.
Amen.
It goes into actions. So can I see that in the home? Can I see that
Right.
in the industry?
Right.
Can I see that? Especially with young girls. I like some of this Black Power movement, Black Girl Magic, Black Girl Lead,
Yeah.
you know,
Black
Black
Girls
Girl
Rock.
Tech, Black Girls Rock. It's really showing that we can do these things, but then more importantly, doing them. Because those are two different things. And saying that I can and versus I did. And I think we need to get to the point where not only did I learned when I was a young child in a barbershop or in a beauty salon that I could, I actually grew up and watched people do it, which made me do and become what I am today. So I think to answer your question is more of, can we emulate that? Can we show them, not just tell them? You know, I could tell you you could be the next president of the United States. And we still, now the Barack made it, everybody think they can make it. Well, now that we got Trump, everybody can.
Yeah, you can make it if Trump can make it.
Yeah. President.
So,
you have to be able to.
You know, who's running the White House for real? Is it Trump or is it the White
Them, they.
Oh, God.
I do remember that as a joke when Clinton was in house.
That's
It
right.
was really Hillary running things.
I don't mind as long as the job get done, but not every guy feels that way. And I think every house is going to have its definition. And I think it's up to the people in the house to accept that definition, no matter what the world says. Because again, if you want to be home and you're cooking me some macaroni and some collard greens and all that, hey, if that's what you want to do, I'm all for it. As they say in the old days, you like it, I love it.
Yes, definitely.
So I don't know. I think you may have to figure out where you want to be. Do you want to be the leader in the house, or do you want to be the leader in the house?
She want to be the leader. Period.
I like the shared leadership. I really, really do. I like that particular. What?
I'm just making sure that's you talking.
I'm
Yeah.
not that bossy.
Here's the thing. Even the bossiness, like if it was a man, would you say she's bossy?
Right. No.
Maybe.
Because if it was a man, you would say there's some leadership skills.
true.
Oh man,
That
you
is
so
very true.
bold. I love what you're doing. But because it's a female, you're like, man, she be getting on my nerves.
Right
so I think it's really
She
understanding
doing too
that.
much. She doing the most.
Yeah.
I would
Who she
never say
think
that
she
about
is?
you. I would never say that
Why
about
she
you.
gotta act like that? If I say it
Yes.
in one tone, might be almost the B word. So I gotta say it in a sugary sweet tone.
Yes.
But then if I say it in a sugary sweet tone, it's
You're
not
not
assertive
aggressive
enough.
Yeah. So I think it's hard for women for sure. But I think that's what makes you women. That's what makes you who you are. You have to be able to finesse that thing on both sides. Like, yeah, I can be sugar and spice, and really get away with it. Is it going to be
But
easy?
it's so
No.
hard to find that balance.
Yeah, that's the world we live in.
It
That
So
is the
really
world we
is
live
hard
in. You live
to
in a
find
man's
that
world,
balance.
as you
like
said.
this one right here, just saying I'm bossy. But if I give direction, it's what I do.
Well, he's trying to say how you give direction.
How I give direction.
Right.
So
That's
the
how-
please and the thank yous.
Those
That's
words.
what you need.
Yeah. Sometimes you
need
gotta
to
use sugar, not spice. And
Yeah, man.
you might be using spice all the time, so they're like, nah, she too spicy.
She too spicy.
Let me give a little sugar.
But when things need to get done.
See, she's snapping. You saw that? She's snapping. See what I'm saying?
But there are moments and times and places and situations where you got to move. I don't have time to be like, oh, sugar baby, can you get
I
up
agree with
and do
that. Yeah,
such and
you're right.
such and
You're
so
right.
and so.
I agree with that. And
So
I think,
if I'm not like that in that moment,
Right.
that don't necessarily make me bossy. It just means I'm assertive. We getting the job done.
I agree.
If we got a job to get done, we getting the job done.
right.
And then later on, I can be like, oh, thank you, baby. You're so sweet. Thank you, love.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I can
So
dig
stop
it.
calling me bossy.
I can dig it. I can dig
He needs to use the words like leadership.
it. Yeah, that's her thing. Her leadership
Great direction.
skills and all of that.
Are always on point.
And while she's snapping,
But you know what I have an issue with? Why we always got to be politically correct. That's my issue.
Yeah.
It may not have to always be correct. You know what? He might say it the way he said it, and you have to just accept it because that's what he says.
Because I'm taking it as negative.
So here's the
When he
thing.
calls me
No matter,
bossy.
no matter what he says, will you still be the leader?
I am.
The bossiness?
I am. I am.
But
So
see,
I just own it.
Just own it. And that's what I think we have to do as male and female. Own
True.
it. That's what
But
you
nobody
are.
wants to be looked at in a negative light, though.
And we're going to fall in line because we just know that's you.
That's
it.
So your bossy is a compliment?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
It's how you
good.
receive it. See, we always try politically correct around it. You bossy, you should say yes I am. And you need to do this, and this.
It's like my aunts, man. That my auntie Deborah and my auntie Georgia, that's just the way that they are. And people know them in my family as the bossy ones because that's just the way that they are.
But y'all say bossy like it's not a good thing.
Oh, no,
I do think that there are some men who use that as a derogatory statement versus a leadership, great role type of statement. So knowing the difference, I think, does make a difference. But at the end of the day, you still need to be you.
I mean, I own it.
Yes.
I am.
And know, hey, when I need to go
I own my leadership skills
when I need to go
in this man's world.
Hey, you in a
I
man's world.
own my leadership
Right,
skills.
right.
I'm gonna do the bossy.
Yeah. We understand. We understand.
So listen, you guys gonna come back next week?
Yeah, as long as you cooking.
Are you the boss in the
Wait,
kitchen?
why I gotta be cooking? Can you come early and cook for me?
Barefoot and pregnant. Let me stop. For people be looking at stuff and thinking I'm some kind of coon or something. I will not be the coon.
Somebody gotta cook.
Yeah, I'll cook. What
You
you?
gonna cook?
Yeah, what you want?
Right. Okay, I'm gonna send you a menu.
See, now
Chef
you lead
Boyard Negro,
it.
huh?
Now you lead it.
See, hey,
Take
I
the
own
lead.
it. I will own it.
All right.
Love you guys.
We love you
Find me
too.
Kitchen Talk. See y'all next week.
All right.
Awesome.